Hello everybody, Todd Sanders here. It's July 14th, 2012. We're in Scarborough, Maine at the Maine Veterans Home. We are here for the Warrior Legacy Foundation Wounded Heroes 5th Annual Wounded Heroes Ride that Pam Payeur puts on every year. You'll see as we walk around with the cameras the great variety of people that come from all over the state to support such a worthy cause. The Wounded Heroes program helps soldiers who have returned from serving our country that are wounded, obviously, that need assistance with a variety of things from housing assistance to help paying their bills, medical costs. Pam Payeur will certainly tell us a little bit more about that when we speak with her. So please come back after these messages from our sponsor and check out the Wounded Heroes Ride 2012.
All your Ridin' steel gear is now available through B&B Embroidery and Ink, located on 82 Libby Hill, Oakland, Maine. T-shirts, caps, bandanas, sweatshirts, and more. So if you're looking for quality, reliable service for your next event, contact B&B Embroidery and Ink at 207-465-2846 or visit their website at info@bbembmaine.com. Naples Custom Motorsports, the fastest growing motorsports business in the region. A full-service facility providing you with custom bike building, fabrication, and paint. Specializing but not limited to Harley-Davidsons. Offering a full line of parts, accessories, and apparel. Located at the intersection of 302 and Kansas Road in Naples, Maine.
I'm Dennis Oliverty with Naples Custom Motorsports. Bring your bike down and we can turn it from mild to wild. Whatever your dreams are, we can make it a reality. Hope to see you soon.
My little guy here, my little buddy. JT held National Lemonade Day, and he would like to present a check to Wounded Heroes Program of Maine. So tell me, how much did you make altogether, JT?
Altogether, 110.15 cents.
Selling lemonade. So at this time, as I got started to saying, we need to thank the Maine Chapter Patriot Riders, Chapter 1, and Bentley and Lisa for making it possible for this gentleman coming up to be here today. For those who don't know who he is, Staff Sergeant Tim Chambers, if you go on YouTube and look for him, you will find videos of this gentleman standing in full uniform down in D.C. to salute Rolling Thunder, the tens of thousands, am I correct, of motorcycles rolling into D.C. For Memorial Day weekend. And Staff Sergeant has agreed to sing the Marine Corps hymn before he speaks to you, so please give him your attention.
Well, I wish I had learned all the hymns. I just like equality, you know.
Hoorah! Hoorah!
But since we do have a Iwo Jima veteran right here, it's his birthday, so it's kind of a icing on the cake kind of thing. So with further ado, I'll sing a favorite karaoke hymn of mine. They look at me strange right outside the base when I'm singing it. Okay, like all the Marines outside the base are like, I'm like, get off your behind, motivator. From the halls of Montezuma, in the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. He will proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Our flags unfurled to every breeze, from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. To the snow of far off northern lands, to the sunny tropic scenes, You will find us always on the job, the United States Marines. Here is health to you and to our Corps, which we are proud to serve. Many strive and fought for life and never lost their nerve. If the Army or the Navy ever looked on heaven's scenes, they will find the streets are guarded by United States Marines. Hurrah! Hurrah!
Big Moose Harley-Davidson is your destination when shopping for a new or used bike in the Portland area. At Big Moose, we have all you need to be part of the legend. Riding apparel, clothing, full line of parts and accessories, dependable service, and a financial department dedicated to meeting your needs.
Come in and experience the customer-first attitude at Big Moose Harley-Davidson, where the legend rolls on.
Hi, this is Lisa from Lisa's Restaurant and Catering Service, located at 15 Bangor Street, Augusta, Maine. Join us every Friday night for live entertainment. We've been voted #1 in the Augusta area for 2011 and now 2012. Don't forget to join us the first Wednesday of every month for Love for the Locals. It's our way of saying thank you for your support.
Hi, my name's Rich Brewer. I have PTSD and I have TBI. I guess in many ways you're here to support me and people like me. It's taken me 27 years to be able to stand up in front of a crowd and say I have PTSD. I might have PTSD, but I'm not crazy. And that's really what we want to say. I am 100% disabled, but I am not unable. And neither are the tens of thousands like me that are disabled. We're not unable. Regardless of the extent of our physical wounds that we have suffered in war, be it broken bones or amputated limbs, we all suffer an amputation of our innocence. The deadening of our souls that have altered our views and our lives forever. No one who has gone off to war can come back the same. There's a hole in our soul. Many call this, and Pam does too, the invisible wound, as it's hidden from the naked eye. But it is far from invisible when one bothers to look. The problem is, most in society do not bother to look. They don't want to see the horror being relived in the veterans' eyes. They don't want to see the horror that these young warriors experience, that they have sent off to do things one does not speak of or even dare think about. I've often asked myself why I survived to begin with. Why did my brothers die? Why did the bullet miss me? Why did the bomb allow me to live? After suffering in silence for 24 years, I know why now. To give a voice, to be able to stand in front of people and say, you can't see my wound, but I'm wounded. I didn't die in battle. It was close, but I didn't. 3 years ago, after initially filing with the VA, finally, and starting that paperwork. And listen, if you're not crazy, when you start dealing with the VA, you will be by the time you're done. Okay, it's not PTSD that makes me crazy, it's the VA. Anybody from the VA here? No. Okay, good. Oh, hi. Except for the people that work there. They're good. It's the organization. Thus far, the answer in my treatment plan was I was given antidepressants, anti-anxiety, antipsychotic drugs, and anti-nausea drugs, because the other anti-drugs made me nauseous. So then they had to give me some other drugs for the side effects of those drugs. And that was my treatment plan. Oh, and I had a mental health provider who had never been outside the United States of America, let alone outside the wire anywhere. 3 years ago, if you looked at my life, I had the American dream. I had a house in Falmouth, Maine. I have 2 children, a loving wife, 2 dogs, 2 cats. I was a respected member of the community. I had a combined 17 years in law enforcement, 4 years as a bodyguard for the royal family of Saudi Arabia, and almost 13 years as a high school teacher. Anybody looking at that saw nothing but the American dream. So the problem is inside me. I honestly believe that life was a lie. It wasn't me. My insides were a nightmare. I didn't deserve that life, you see, because of what I had done, of what I had seen. I thought of myself as worthless. I was only good at one thing, being a warrior. And I hadn't been a warrior in a long time. I wasn't a good husband. I wasn't a good husband because my wife, the wound wasn't hidden from, and she was the brunt of many outrages. One night when we were laying in bed together, she started to weep. And she just looked at me, sad, tears, and said, I'm so afraid you're going to kill yourself. I'm on a mission every day to make sure that no one, no warrior, will ever have to sit there and make a decision on life or death. And I made a commitment to stop that from happening, and I can't do it alone, but I can do it with all of you. God bless you, and thank you.
Afghanistan. Never got to go. But I try to honor them every day. Everything I do, I'm representing them. I'm not letting America forget about them. I'm thanking all of you for supporting them when they come home. You just go to a local hospital and see dozens of wheelchairs rolling around, and that grounds you in a heartbeat. You know, is there more I can do? I think there's a lot more that I can do. I'm not forward deployed. I'm always going to be making a difference. You know, I presented a salute way too many times at funerals, and I think that's way too late for me to show them respect and thank them for their service. But I want the residents here to know that you guys live on in our hearts every day. It's not just us being here today. We've not forgot you and your sacrifice and your service to our country over the generations. Anyways, thank you for having me here and have this opportunity to reach more people and reinforce what you guys are doing. There's a lot of need in the world, and there's a big iceberg out there. We're just barely chipping it, but we got to chip somewhere and make a difference. And I think that's how that honors the service of others, is when we go above and beyond the call of duty. Much more patriotic than any politician I've ever seen, because you guys aren't getting paid to be here today. You know, you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart. People come up, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm okay. I have all my limbs. I'm very blessed. I'm okay.
At Lowry & Associates, they treat their clients like family.
We have represented many motorcycle accident victims over the years, and we understand the dangers caused by drivers who fail to be aware of motorcycles sharing the road. When you call Lowry & Associates, you will get answers to your questions. Getting a good settlement can be complicated, and we will be with you every step of the way.
Lowry & Associates, we treat our clients like family. Welcome to North Country Harley-Davidson, one of the best resources for parts, accessories, and motor clothes. North Country Harley-Davidson. Not just any Harley, your Harley.
If you're looking for a destination for your charity ride, then stop into the Water Street Grill, located on 463 Water Street, Gardner, Maine. The Water Street Grill offers great food, entertainment, and ample parking for your event. All veterans get a 10% discount. And remember, you're only a stranger once at the Water Street Grill.
For honest, professional, courteous service through your real estate journey, contact me, Wendy Gallant, at Caldwell Banker Lakes Region Properties in Naples, Maine. Your friendly neighborhood realtor.
All right, we left the Scarborough Veterans Home. We are on the 5th annual Wounded Heroes Ride. And standing with me is...
Rich Brewer.
Rich Brewer, you are an infantryman in what theater of war?
Beirut and Africa.
And Africa. And you
back in the 80s, served in 80 to 87.
And how did you get affiliated with the Wounded Heroes Program of Maine?
Well, I've started a nonprofit for wounded warriors with PTSD and TBI, and that's how I met Pam. So our organizations are teaming up to do certain events, and this was one of the ones she's asked me to speak at.
For the people that are watching the program, what is PTSD, and what have you learned since starting your organization?
Well, I started Jarhead Pinhead. I'm the Jarhead. I work with a neuropsychiatrist who's my business partner, and post-traumatic stress disorder is basically the signature wound of these areas along with traumatic brain injury. PTSD is just that something I believe everyone experiences that gets into and experiences war. The question is, to what degree does it affect their daily life? And we're seeing more and more young kids today coming back, unable to transition back into civilian society.
And so what steps do you take to help them with that?
Well, the first thing we tell them is they're not crazy. Although it is listed in the DSM, which is the manual for psychiatry, that we just want them to know that they're not crazy. And there is no cure for PTSD, but it's certainly a controllable issue. And then we take them out and start teaching them coping mechanisms to control it.
All right. Now, anyone watching this that's a veteran, how would they get a hold of you?
www.jarheadpinhead.org.
Excellent. Now you're getting ready to do a presentation up there, so you better get busy, right?
Pam will yell at both of us.
We want to give a shout out to Richard Risky for giving this gentleman a ride today.
That's right.
In the
Had
parade.
a great ride with Rich.
Sound check.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
So Pam.
Yes, dear.
5th annual.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to you.
Yeah.
What do you, you've done this 5 years now.
Yeah.
Does it get easier? I was going to say, does it get easier every year? Does it get harder every year? What do you learn every year that you do it different?
Some things are formulaic, where it's just a matter of plugging in what needs to be done, whether it's, my fancy T-shirt.
Very nice shirts.
I'm very proud of this year, and the full back.
Yeah.
Some of the struggles we have are with, the making sure we're safe and stuff as it grows. And did you hear the number?
Hear the number. Jamie and I were standing beside the road. We let every biker go out from Scarborough, then we proceeded to work our way back up to the front. It's only a 15-mile ride, so it's not a lot of room to do that. But the officers leading the procession did a great job. I think it was well run. But the number of bikes I was telling, as I said, Jamie, last year when Tracy and I filmed it, I was able to catch up with the front of the pack just after Funtown. So if there's any kind of if that's any kind of a measurement tool, you've outdone yourself.
Well, the police told us 508 bikes.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That's insane. That's crazy.
It's great.
I don't know what even to say about that.
Yeah. It's the. I think it's the. You do say you, and I think in some respects it is you bringing it's you and people like you bringing recognition to the cause, because the cause has always been there. We just heard a gentleman speak about 20 plus years of dealing with the cause. So it's not that the cause hasn't always been there, it's the awareness and the publicity of the cause, I think, and that I do think falls back on you. A little credit, you accept the credit.
And my team.
And your team.
People who support us. I mean, you guys have been here since day one as well. I'm excited that we're growing, but also along with that, my top concern is, yes, raise awareness for the cause that these guys are struggling with. You heard his story. I've got guys up on stage that had to leave because it was too hard to hear what he was saying.
Well, and the thing is we hear these stories once a year, perhaps, when we come to this ride. One gentleman. you're dealing with stories like this on a daily basis, and I'm sure that there are more that are as moving, if not more moving, than what we just heard up there, because that gentleman, fortunate enough, was able to pull it together and battle his demons, so to speak. The gentleman, I mean, and the people that you get every year, you just outdo it. The gentleman, the Marine standing at attention, the gentleman who does it at Rolling Thunder for the 4 hours. This was a walk in the park for him today.
Did you see him standing?
I did see him. We caught him at the end as we were taping. Yeah, I mean, it does. I told Jamie it gives you chills.
It does, and there are so many components of this event that are special, I think, to me, that I feel very important to have, whether it's the colors and some of the wounded here mingling with the people, and there are certain things to me that need to happen with a ride like this.
How do you make it better?
Oh gosh, I don't know. We just make it different, because I think part of my goal is each year to mix it up a bit, and as you know, last year was pretty heavy duty stuff when we honored the memory of David Varnum. Not every year it needs to be like that, and we're thankful for that, because it's exhausting.
Well, as I often say with events like this, hopefully the more effort we put in, the less effort we'll have to put in. That's because as awareness comes about and as people address the issues that we cover, hopefully they'll become less and less need to cover them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happy with the outcome, and it's all good.
And I'm with Stephen Butler, who is the president of the Patriot Riders Chapter 1 Maine. And it takes a lot of groups to organize a ride like this and be part of it and support the Wounded Heroes program of Maine. The Patriot Riders happen to be one of them. Legion Riders were here. Combat Veterans are here. I mean, there's so many different groups. I can't even begin to start naming them all, Stephen. But, the Patriot Riders seem to be doing an outstanding job in building their membership. And you want to talk about that just a little bit for me, please?
Sure, absolutely. And like you said, it takes all the groups combined: Rolling Thunder, Combat Vets, Legion Riders, Patriot Riders.
And, of course, our connection is through Pam Payeur, right? We both support the Wounded Heroes program adamantly. And, what's your take on today? To get a little more personal here, how do you feel when you look around and you see what you're doing for our soldiers, especially the ones that showed up here?
And it makes it all worthwhile. Pam is just, without you knowing it, she gets you involved. And then it goes from there, and it's such a well-rounded type of people that come. But to come here personally, I'm a veteran, but to come here personally and see the people on stage makes it all worthwhile. Seeing Sergeant Major Chambers come all the way from California to pay tribute just tells you that there is some sincerity out there. There is some compassion out there for what these veterans are going through, and we love it. We want to be involved in any kind of event that happens like that.
Right. And Richard's knowledge of PTSD was extremely rewarding for me to stand there and listen, because I can only second guess what these guys are going through. I've always said that, my understanding of PTSD is when you go over there and you see the horrors and the carnage, and then you come back here to the United States, and 99% of the people have never experienced such a thing. It's like they have no clue what these guys have faced, and so, I'm hoping that you learn something by watching this show today, and that you'll have more compassion to show towards the soldiers that are returning, especially the ones with the injuries that you can't see, that are mental, and it does take them physically. Absolutely, they get sick to their stomach. They abuse alcohol and drugs because they don't know how to deal with it. Right. And so somebody like Richard around to help them out is an incredible feat. Thank God there's a man with that kind of passion.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't get that, like you said. It's the stuff that you can't see that these veterans come home and are dealing with, that we need to be able to help them. And we're proud people. So if you know of somebody that's dealing with that you think might need some help, you got to reach out so that we can provide the services that they need to get through what they're going through.
Right. Well, very well said, Stephen. Thank you so much. Okay.
Number one guy right here.
Oh, thanks, man.
Not that you probably don't get enough of this in your everyday life, but we're going to put you on the spot here on one of your days off.
Sure.
Norm Karkos with us. Tell us, what brings you to an event such as this?
Well, Pam actually invited me here, and we got the invitation, and we said we'd be more than happy to come by and just greet some of the riders and some of the people involved here. My father's a 20-year Marine. He had 3 tours in Vietnam. He's still with us, thankfully. Great man. So growing up in the military, have an appreciation for the servicemen and women and what they do here, and you know, just a generation of heroes that come back. We use the term heroes too loosely, but you look around this parking lot here and you see some of these servicemen and women and some of the great inspirational speeches. Man, I'll tell you what, these are heroes, and this is the very least we can do to honor some of these people that are giving their lives and making sacrifices for us and for our freedoms here.
And we're fortunate these are the ones that were able to return and enjoy a day like this with us. There are many that didn't get a chance to return and have that opportunity.
Exactly, and you got to count your blessings. You got to say, you got to give thanks every day for that, and there are too many who have not made it back, and you got to come back here and recognize these people in the here and now, whether they are severely wounded or what have you, or suffering from syndromes of different sorts here, but you got to come back and recognize them. They got to get the word out. You've got to hear them. They got to convey the message, and you got to listen to that message, and the word needs to get out. And we need to continue to recognize these men and women as true heroes for who they are and helping out our country and giving us our freedoms here.
I appreciate you taking the time off to join us and
say
speak
hi to
with us.
Kristen and Bob for me. Well, they're great on the show.
Well, you can say it right there, Kristen and Bob.
Hello.
We miss you.
I love you two dearly. They're my friends from Lisbon High School. They're great people, and
Greyhounds at heart.
Greyhounds at heart. I watched the show. It's a great show. So keep up the great work, and looking forward to seeing Kristen and Bob sometime. Greyhounds at heart. That's right.
That's a challenge, Kristen and Bob. We expect to see you out here real soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
One of the most anticipated interviews that I had personally was to meet this gentleman here. Your name is Master Sergeant Tim?
No, it's Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant?
Yeah, it's Tim Chambers these days. I'm a Marine veteran. I'm out of the ranks, but still trying to make a difference.
Right. But what's really unique about this is that Tim flew all the way from California?
Yes, sir. Oceanside, California.
That's right. Now, you're very famous for a video that was circulated around YouTube and such on a Rolling Thunder ride where you saluted thousands of motorcyclists. I guess it was in Washington, D.C., is that right? Yes. And so why did you do that?
Well, I was a partner of the Korean War Commemoration Committee the year prior to that. I was stationed in D.C., and I educated people about the Korean War for 3 days, and I thought all these vets were in town. So the next year I was in my blues, shaking some hands, giving out some hugs, welcoming people home, thanking for their service, thanking the family for their sacrifice. And then I see all these vets zooming by in this motorcycle rally, and I hear it's about POWMI awareness, so there are concerned citizens in there too. Well, in the Marine Corps, I've done a lot of salutes at funerals, and that's way too late for me to show my appreciation and respect to a service member and their family. So that just prompted me to jump off the curb, pop up a salute, and give them a sign of my respect.
It's amazing. I watched the video, and you must have been standing there for hours.
Yeah, it's a long day.
It sure is.
I didn't know how long I was going to stand. I didn't know when it was going to end, but then I felt like I couldn't stop.
No, Tim, it was a real honor to listen to you this morning and to acknowledge all of those veterans sitting there at the Veterans Home. That was amazing. You brought them in. We brought them out to see the fiasco that was going on around their home, but you brought them into the whole event, and that was amazing of you to do that. You have to be commended, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I'll give everything I can to them. A lot of them are alone. They're in those veteran homes, and they just need to know that they've not been forgotten, and what they did for this country will never be forgotten, because they told me they're just buying time. And I don't want them to ever think that they didn't make a difference.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us at this Wounded Heroes Ride 2012, the 5th annual. Pam is an incredible woman. I know what she does for our veterans and how much work she puts into it, and it's not just about writing a check for her. She helps them through the bureaucracy and all the other obstacles that are in their way to gain what is, rightfully coming to them. So she's an amazing person, and thank you for coming all the way from California for this.
It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to wrap up today, okay? I want to thank these folks that are standing with me, Bentley and Lisa. I want to thank Pam Payeur for an outstanding job that she does every year. Every day of her life literally is centered around helping out our veterans. And today I really learned a lot about PTSD. I don't know about you guys, but I felt that it was a real eye-opener and that people needed to hear that. So we want to thank Richard for doing that for us as well. And, of course, our Marine.
Oh, Sergeant Tim Chambers. He was here a few weeks ago. He's an incredible person.
Right, and you are the one that helped make that happen. You, along with Steve Butler of the Patriot Riders, correct?
Yeah, it was fun to help him out to get here because he's just a great person, and veterans love to see him.
So where did the idea come up to bring him down to the Wounded Heroes program?
Actually, it was from Bill down at the Chop Shop in Seabrook, New Hampshire, and it was his idea to bring him up here. And it's a place that we patronize.
You went, Eureka, great idea, let's make it happen.
You got it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, listen, folks, I want to thank you all for watching Ride and Steel, and that you'll join us next week.
Ride and Steel, because you know what? They rock like CYY.
Cut.
This is a great view.